Welcome back friends, this is Sonia here from growingcraft and I'm super excited to share this new tutorial. This is the first time I'm posting a pregnancy record book tutorial and trust me, I have planned this since long but finally I could do it and I'm super happy that I'm sharing this tutorial with you all. Now this is a very simple and a basic scrapbook which I make for pregnancy record. Now here I have the 4 cardboard pieces where I have numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 and this is just to make sure that I have my sequins properly, some plain cardstock and some beautiful pattern papers. Now I am going to have my tacky tape and I am going to stick it on 1 and the 4 number, that is going to be the front cover and the back cover. For the inner pages the sticking technique is going to be a little different. I prefer using my tacky tape for the covers because the covers need much more strength than the inner pages. So I am going to have my tacky tape. Now I'll peel off the tacky tape and stick it to my pattern paper. Please follow the sequence how I am doing it so that it's easy for you if you are following this tutorial. Now I am going to remove all the extra papers. I'll trim them with my scissors and then I'm going to stick it. Now before doing the sticking work, I am going to give it a nice fold so that I have the proper crease and I know where exactly I have to cut and stick my papers. Before adding my tacky tape, Before adding the tacky tape, I am going to cut the extra paper. This is actually going to save me some time on knowing where exactly I have to stick it and how I have to stick it on my board. This is pretty simple. If you can do the cutting work earlier before sticking it to the board, it's completely your choice, but this is how I prefer doing my covers. Like I said, your cover needs much more strength because that is something which is going to hold your papers. I always make sure that I stick good amount of tacky tape and stick every inch and corner of my covers so that it does not come out. A simple trick: before peeling off your tacky tape, make sure you press them really well so that it sticks to your paper and your base really well and it does not comes out. Trust me, the tacky tape is the best. It does not comes out at all. So here I have put up a layer on the borders of my board and now I'm going to have the tape on the sides of my papers also. It's super easy. Once you have pressed it really well, it's super easy to peel off your tacky tape and then you can start sticking your papers. Now in the same way, I'm going to do both of my covers and I'm going to make sure that I stick them really well. Now this is how it looks, the front and the back side, and now I'm going to have this black color cardstock on the inner side of my front cover. Now this is just to hide all the binding thing, the lines, the shortened paper. Obviously the paper which I had used for this particular cover is 12 inches by 12 inches. The scrapbook size is around 8 inches by 6 inches. So I had to take up the big size paper. And always make sure that you use a good quality acid free and lining free paper so that your cover, your scrapbook stays longer. Now I'm going to peel off the tapes from this cardstock and I am going to stick this to my cover. Make sure you leave some border. That actually looks really great with your album covers. Now I'll repeat the same process for the next cover. Now here is the cover, and I have already pre-cut my papers and I have already decided on the pattern paper. Now whenever I do the scrapbook, I always mark my numbers on my pattern paper so that it's easy for me that how I am going to stick the papers and where I am going to stick it. Now for the inner pages, I am going for my liquid adhesive because it makes my work much easier and much faster, and trust me, this also sticks really well to your project, so do not worry about the strength at all. Now when I do the numbering, it makes my work way easier and way faster, and you also save so much of your time when you are actually planning and deciding and sticking your work. On each pages I have already marked the numbers. So like for the page 1, it was marked number 1 on the pattern paper. Now for the numbered page 2, the pattern paper also has a mark of number 2, so that I know that I have to stick this paper. On the spot, while making and creating the pages, I do some changes, but broadly the design, what I have thought, remains the same. I love to make multicolored scrapbooks because they look really fab, and the brands like DCW, Dress My Craft, Bob and Betty, they come with some really nice amazing pattern papers, and I love using them on my projects. Now for the pocket, I have already pre-cut the thick cardstocks and I'm going to stick it on my pages. Now right now I'm just going to stick the pattern papers and make the pockets. I am going to give the headings a little later. Now, especially when you are choosing your pattern paper, you need to be really careful. Do check the strength of your papers, because you even get the pattern papers in 130 GSM, 150 GSM, then 200 GSM also. So I always like the thicker pattern paper. They always help in adding some more strength to your albums and your scrapbook. And trust me, the thicker the paper is, it has some really nice good designs. This is what I have observed, because there are many brands, like I said, DCW, Bob and Betty, and Dress My Craft, and there are some more designs the brands come in, and they have such thick and beautiful designs. So even for the designs, you have different themes, like you can choose for the baby theme pattern papers, the floral theme, the vintage theme, you name it, and they have it. So you can check on the various options of these pattern papers. Likewise, I will be sticking all the pattern papers on all my pages, and then we will be moving to the next step. Just a midway glimpse of my scrapbook. So this is how it has turned out after sticking the pattern papers, the pockets and with the covers. And now it's time to stick all the sentiments. So I have these my custom design sentiments which I love using. So as I said, this is a pregnancy journal and you have already seen the pictures. So here I'm going to have all the sentiments on my pages. Now whenever I do a scrapbooking, I always make a list that on which page I'm going to have one, and then accordingly I decide. Now here I don't have a list because I have been making these scrapbooks for almost 5-6 years now, and I know and I almost remember that on which page what has to come. But then again, there is no specific link that you have to do this after this only. You can have your own planning, your own design, and then you can stick on your sentiments as and when required. Now, like I said, I love making colorful books, so here my sentiments are also really colorful. You will be seeing me using tacky tape and liquid adhesive, both in this scrapbook making process. Now it's time to add some binding, and here I have a basic standard thing that I always mark 1.5 inches from the top and the bottom of my pages, and then I punch it. So here I am going to mark it with a pencil. In this project I'm going to mark it at 2 inches because it's a little bigger on height wise, and then I'm going to make my punch. And after punching it, I am going to use my metal eyelids to make sure that the paper does not rinse off even after years of use. So make sure you punch your papers on the exact mark on all the pages, and you have your exact holes on all the pages. To make my work easier, I'm going to mark it with a pencil and then I'm going to punch it. This is super easy way of punching your papers. I have even seen a process where you do the binding work. Yes, you can do the binding work also. I personally love this ring binding, the one which I'm doing right now, because this always leaves you with the scope of adding more and more pages. Now with the ring sizes, you get various sizes in the rings. The one which I use are the standard ones of approximately 2 inches. This also has a scope that later on, if my clients come, they want me to add some more pages to the same scrapbook, I can easily do that. So that's the reason I love this binding a little more, because there is always so much scope of adding more pages, adding more designs and adding some more details about your journey of this pregnancy. Another fun part of decorating your covers, I love this, and thank you so much to this client who actually gave me the freedom of like working of my own, so I could do different colors in this, not the particularly the typical pink ones or the green ones or the yellow ones. I had so much of space to decorate and add colors to my project. In this particular one, I chose with green and blue cause this gives a really nice and refreshing effect. So here I am using my pattern papers which has some glossy effect on it, and then I will be adding some more sentiments to this cover. So this is how my final scrapbook looks, and I'm super happy with the way it has turned out. Yes, off camera I also did some background stamping, added few more tags to my pockets, the solid color cardstocks, and with this it's done. And yes, I also have some secret pockets on each page where you can have some more journaling tags, and yes, it is there. So with this, my video and my tutorial is done. I hope you'll enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.